Hi guys, Nick here from Intuitive Tennis. Today I want to teach you how to hit the perfect two-handed backhands. So some of the best two-handed backhands are Djokovic, an Albanian who was measured as having the fastest two-handed backhand of all time, measured at 110 miles an hour. And a young player currently doing really well, Alexander Zverev, he has an amazing two-handed backhand also. On the WTA Tour, most of the players have really good two-handed backhands as well. So in today's video, let's get into what makes these backhands so great and also what makes them different. So let's start off with the grip. What's important on the grip is that the hands do not go on top of each other. I see a lot of recreational beginners, they start overlapping their hands on the backhand. You don't want to do that. You're going to lose stability that way. So the hands shouldn't be too far apart either, like this. They should be right next to each other. And also what we want to do is separate the index finger from the middle finger a little bit. There should be a slight gap between the index and middle finger on both hands, even on the left hand. That's going to allow us to drop the racket much easier if we need to hit a low ball. Our right hand is always going to be in a continental grip on the two-handed backhand. And so the base knuckle, the bevel number 2, and on the left hand, the perfect place for the left hand is between the lefty eastern grip, if you come from the lefty side, and the lefty western grip. That edge right between those two grips, that's where we place our left base knuckle, and that is the perfect position for the left hand. And this is what Djokovic does, and most of the players have their left hand right at this angle. So the first thing that you're going to do on your backhand is, once you realize the ball is coming to your backhand, you're going to make a small turn. And don't make an immediate shoulder turn like this, because that's going to make your movements very robotic. And so first you see the ball coming to your backhand side, and you just make a slight turn like this, and now you start setting it up. And the setup usually is going to be a lateral step across the body, which gives us an automatic shoulder turn, as something like this. There's going to be circumstances on a stationary backhand, or if the ball is very close, that we step more in this direction, and then we have to force the turn a little bit more. But usually when you get pulled to the side, you want to make a lateral step like this, and you get an automatic shoulder turn, and now you're ready to go into your swing. So another thing that some of the best backhands have in common, like Djokovic and Zverev, they have a high take back, and it starts in the ready position. And so if I'm waiting like this for the ball and I see it's a backhand, my racket is up here, I'm simply going to stay like this. And in Zverev's case, he even takes the racket up a little higher like this and then waits like this for the ball. And Djokovic is something like this, where he will drop the front shoulder like this, and the racket is up like that. However, this is not absolutely necessary. If you have this, it might give the racket a little bit more acceleration as it drops down into the slot here. But somebody like an Agassi had a little bit more of a lower take back like this. So you got to play around with these take backs and see what works best. So another thing that the best players do on the backhand is have a really extreme racket drop, where the racket will drop sometimes all the way down like this, and then from here it goes into the contact here. This is, however, not something that you can control. It's a very intuitive thing. You're accelerating the racket so fast, it kind of drops on its own. You have to make sure that your hands are relaxed, and if you start a little bit higher, and the racket will drop down and then go into the contact, something like this. Now the contact is where all the magic happens. So what we have at the contact is a little bit different from player to player. You have guys like Nadal and Agassi have both arms straight at contact like this, and then they finish across this way. You have WTA players who have great backhands, or somebody like Zverev, they have both arms bent like this. And then you have Djokovic and Albanian, two of the greatest backhands of all time, who have the left arm straight like this at contact and the right arm bent. So the arm structure on the backhand at contact is not something that you should force. Whatever comes naturally, you should continue with that. And as a matter of fact, you a lot of times are not even aware whether you're straight or bent at contact anyway. And a lot of players are worried that if they hit the ball like this, and they see slow-mo footage of themselves and they see this contact, and there's absolutely nothing to worry about. You have somebody like a Zverev, who has probably one of the greatest backhands right now on tour, or some of the great WTA players. They all have this type of contact, so this shouldn't be a worry at all. What is important, however, is that the contact is in front. Whatever arm structure you have to bring the racket in front of you this way, but not all the way like this. The left shoulder on right-handers is always going to remain slightly behind the right shoulder at contact, regardless of arm structure. So the contact is where all the magic happens on the backhand. Whether it's Djokovic, Zverev, or Agassi, all these guys hit across. All the great WTA players on tour who have great backhands, they all hit across. And what happens at contact is this: regardless of arm structure, and let's just take Djokovic's, for example, with a straight left arm and a bent right arm. And what's going to happen next is the tip of the racket is going to go forward like this, but look at my arms, and my arms are going across like this. This is the straight left arm. The left arm is going across, and I simply continue the rotation until my right elbow goes towards the back fence. And remember, the rotation starts in the forward phase of the swing. We already start coming forward with the left shoulder well before contact, and then once we make contact, we simply continue the rotation across, and then we reach the finish somewhere around here. So let's summarize what we need to do on the backhand. We're going to be in a ready position, and we're going to see the ball, and we're going to make a small turn like this, and we start setting it up. And let's assume the ball is in front of us and we can step forward. Now we have to make a big shoulder turn to where the back is pointing towards the other side. And now the racket is going to be up. And now we solely focused on the ball, and we start to forward swing, and we start rotating. Make the contact in front and then continue going across all the way. We bring the left foot around the body like this and finish all the way towards the back fence. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment in the section below if you have any questions. I will make sure to answer. Hit that like button if you can, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.